Hi Year 2, it is Wednesday the 13th of January. It's our third phonics session of the week. Well done for all of your amazing work you've done so far. It's been great to see your emails coming through and beeping through of all your great phonics work at home, so thank you. First thing I'd like to do today is write down the two sounds that we've learnt so far this week on your whiteboard. See if you can do it without your grown-ups' help. So which two sounds have we looked at so far this week? They're also in your spelling list, as all of our sounds will be this week. So on your whiteboard, you should have written A for play and oi for boy. Well done if you got those correct. Okay, it's Wednesday, so I'm going to start my session today with some tricky words. In my class, we call this Tricky Word Wednesday. So I've got 3 tricky words for you. Now, you have seen these words before because they were part of our reading tricky words homework last week, but we're going to have a go at spelling them today as well. So I'm going to hold up a tricky word, and if you know it, I want you to shout it out to your grown-up. Okay, so the first word is, shout it to your grown-up, oh. Oh. We might say, oh dear, or oh no, oh. Okay. Now on your whiteboard, I would like your grown-ups to put a 1-minute timer on their phone, and I want to see how many times you can write the word oh. Okay, so you might want to pause the video now and go. Okay. The next tricky word is, tell your grown-up if you think you know what this tricky word is here. Okay. This tricky word is there. Now this there isn't like over there. This is if something belongs to you. So their cat, their hat, their coat, their shoes. So just as you've just done before, put another minute timer on your grown-up's phone, and I want to see how many times you can write the word there correctly. Okay, off you go. Okay, brilliant. So you might need to pause in between. The third tricky word for Tricky Word Wednesday. So if you know the word already, we did look at these last week, but we're practicing spelling them as well this week, is people. People. So again, like with the 2 previous words, pop the timer on. How many times can you write the word people correctly on your whiteboard in 1 minute? And I can't wait to see your photographs of that. Okay. So every Wednesday, we'll look at some tricky words as well. We call that Tricky Word Wednesday. So third day, so third sound of the week. Now, today's sound, I'm going to give you a little bit of a clue. And for my children, remember it by thinking of a tie. So this sound is for tie. So if you think you know, just whisper to your grown-up. Okay, today's sound is made of 2 letters, I and E, and it makes the I sound. I for tie. If you've got your phonics mat at home, if you look on the phase 5 part section, you'll see the sound I, and above it there should be a picture of a tie. So I for tie. Okay. So we're going to start with reading some I words, and then you're going to have a go at writing them on your whiteboard. Okay. But when I write the words this time, I'm going to have a go writing them muddled up to see if you can work out what the I word is that I've written and unjumble it on your whiteboard. Okay, so I'll start with a nice easy one. Okay. What word should Mrs. Wood have written here? So it's an I word. It's a word containing today's I sound, but I've written it backwards. Write what the word should be on your whiteboard. Okay. Hopefully you should have written, let's read it together. Okay. I, tie. And that's how I remember this sound, I for tie. Okay, I hope you got that one correct. Let's look at another one this time. Okay, I haven't put the I sound together this time just to confuse you. Okay. What word do you think Mrs. Wood could have tried to write there? So it's a 3-letter word and it rhymes with tie. Okay, you might want to pause so you can work it out. You should have got. Let's read it together. Pie. Pie. So we've had tie and pie. Now, my next words are words that we write in the past tense. Now, if we write them in the present tense, we might use the letter Y. But if they are then put in the past tense, we will change that to the I for tie sound. So, for example, so these words I'm not going to jumble up now. I'm going to show you the word on the whiteboard. You can read it, sound talk it with your grown-up, and then write it on your whiteboard. Okay, so we're going to go for this is what Mrs. Wood did when the schools had to close. Mrs. Wood, what did I do? I cried. Now, if I was to write cry, that would be C-R-Y. But as I'm changing to the past tense, the Y becomes an I. Cried. Okay. So have a go at writing cried on your whiteboard. Well done. Okay. The next word rhymes with cried, and it's spied. This time, I'd like you to have a go at writing the word spied on your whiteboard and check with mine to see if you spelt it correctly. Sp, and I've got a blend at the beginning there. Spied. So have a go at writing spied. Ready? Spied. So we should have a few I words now written on our whiteboard. The first two you had to unjumble, and then we looked at cried together, and now you've just had a go at writing spied. Okay. Now I know that yesterday everybody does this word here. Everybody tried their very best with their phonics. So we should have had so far tie and pie and cried, spied, and now tried. I'm going to try a tricky one now. Now, this word is when we say we haven't done anything. So you might, sometimes at school, you might have done something you not want to tell Mrs. Wood, so you might have used this word. This is what you might have done. You might have done something a bit cheeky at home and said that you hadn't done it. Maybe you're grown up. I know which word I'm thinking of. Okay, so it's a bit trickier. So if you're grown up, see if you can read this I word. Okay, sure your grown up knows what I'm talking about. D-E-N-I-D, denied, denied. Denied is when we say we haven't done something. Okay, so while you're at home doing your home learning, you might have done something that you had done, but you denied doing it. Denied. So your whiteboard now should be full of I words from today's sound. Okay, don't forget to send me photographs. So now we're going to apply the I sound from today to write some sentences. So Mrs. Wood has got 3 sentences that I'm going to hold up. They also contain our tricky words from the first part of the session, which were what? Let's just have a little quick reminder. They were there, oh, and people. So I've got some sentences now that I'm going to hold up for you. I want you to read the sentence, then pause and have a go at writing it on your whiteboard for me. Now just ignore Mrs. Wood's drawing. I'm not a very good drawer, but I have tried. Ooh, tried. What does tried contain? Contains our new sound. Okay, so sentence number 1. Okay, with your grown up, you might want to pause. Let's read it together. Oh no! I spied a fried pie. Where in that sentence have I used I words, and which tricky word have I popped into our sentence there? So have a go at writing it and see if you can get the tricky word correct as well. Okay, sentence number 2. Okay. So there is one of our I words in there, and also another tricky word that we practiced at the start of the session. Okay, so you might want to pause, read it with your grown up, and then have a go at writing it. Let's read it together. She replied that their cat had been found. And we said before that this there, it's belonging. So that cat belonged to somebody, their cat. Okay, so have a go at writing that one on your whiteboard once you've read it with your grown up. And the final sentence. So think about which tricky word we haven't seen so far. We've seen oh and there. Which tricky word is going to be in this sentence here? Okay. So pause, read it with your grown up, and you might want to have a go at writing it as well. Let's read it together. People denied that they had cried. The tricky word that I popped in there was people. Okay. Right, well done, year 2. So that was our 3rd phonics session. I can't wait to see your work pinging through on my emails later. So I definitely want to see all those tricky words that you've been practicing. So every Wednesday, I will call that Tricky Word Wednesday, and I will start the session with 3 tricky words from phase 5 that we can practice spelling as well as reading. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. I can't wait to see all your phonics work. Keep up the great work. Well done. Bye.